Ruskin and Zach on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We're back at it here. Football Friday brought to you by Cassano's Pizza here on Ruskin and Zach. Shifting our attention, as we do at this time on Fridays, to the high school scene around Arkansas on this Friday night. And for that, we bring in our buddy Brad Caldwell from the Arkansas Sports Network. He's with us here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline here on Ruskin and Zach. Brad, a busy week about to get underway for high school football. It's finally back. Everybody's excited.
Absolutely. It's just that time of year. We have got better temperatures. That's another thing.
Praise
exciting,
Jesus!
Right? Right? I don't know who's been doing the praying around here, but keep on. In fact, put me on your prayer list. We're excited to have some better temperatures. You know, we're in Monticello tonight, and South Arkansas, right? South Arkansas, it should be about 162 degrees, but tonight it's going to be nice and fair here in Monticello.
I'm at Central, and it's normally I was expecting 98 degrees, and it's a very crisp 78.
Oh, it's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, we caught a break here. Early returns next week looking pretty good also, but focusing on tonight, and I guess we could start in 7A with the biggest classification as we look at things tonight. And, Brad, what are you looking at tonight as far as games across the 7A?
Well, Bryant Benton, I mean, that's
a small little tilt
one.
in Central Arkansas.
Right, just a little bit of something there. They're always, really one of the top non-conference games in the state of Arkansas. When you're talking about Benton Bryant, I mean, what else do you say? It's Benton Bryant kind of speaks for itself.
Yep, absolutely.
That is that's a classic.
And I think Benton deserves a lot of credit through the years, Brad, because they have struggled in that game, and as emotional as it is with that rivalry, they go on and have really good seasons after that. They don't fall apart after having a few hiccups in the opener.
Well, Benton is well coached. Coach Brad Harris does a great job down there, and they're really one of the top teams in the 6A every year in and year out. They're right there to play for a state championship. And you're right. I mean, you would think that that emotional letdown maybe. But, man, they just do a great job of bouncing back. And, of course, Bill Bryant is just a different animal right now. You're talking about a team that has won 6 of the last 7 state championship games. I mean, that's just unheard of there in 7A. And they've basically taken on all comers and been able to dispatch them. And there's really no shame in losing to them. I don't think Benton has won that game since 2005.
Wow.
So that's a long time. Yeah, it's a long time.
But it's on their field this year, right? Like they've left War Memorial, and it's home and home, and I believe Benton is hosting it tonight, and it's probably already a fire marshal sellout as we talk right now over there.
Yeah, and a $40 live stream. How about that one?
Wow. Okay.
Really? Well, that's
you gotta you really gotta want to watch that one. But hey, if people shell it out, I mean, I say more power to them. I don't know who's making the money off that, but whoever's doing a good job on that one. But what a great game! I'm sure it's going to be a great atmosphere there in Benton, and I know that they're gearing up. Like it's kind of like Arkansas, Texas A&M in some ways. It's one of those games that you feel like Arkansas should have won many years. I know Benton probably feels that way now. You get it on their home field. I think Benton, if they're going to do it, this year's the year to do it.
Yeah, I mean, and you get them week 1. There are a lot of unknowns, and a lot of unknowns around other classifications as well. In 6 and 7, we don't know a ton about these teams. All we've had are a lot of benefit games. Give me some folks to watch in 6A not named Greenwood.
Well, folks to watch in 6A not named Greenwood, I think Benton is one of those teams that you got to watch year in and year out. Shiloh Christian seems to be a team that I think everybody's kind of looking at this year saying, can they be that team to step up and maybe take Greenwood down? You've got Lake Hamilton is a team that I think is up there, but really when it gets down to it, I think Shiloh is the team that you've really got to watch. if you think anybody's going to knock Greenwood off, but let's just say, how hard is it going to be to knock Greenwood off? Number one, they've got the 22, or they've won, 26 in a row, whatever it is.
Hit him, Derek's got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since Bentonville West is playing down there tonight at Smith Robinson Stadium, Brad, they've won 71 in a row at home.
Well, are you cashing in your ticket on a win tonight?
I mean, they haven't lost at home since El Dorado got them in the playoffs in 2014. That's the last time they lost a home game.
Goodness.
We looked
Greenwood.
it up.
Yeah.
Connor Noland was a freshman.
Yeah.
The last time that Greenwood
Wow.
lost at home. The quarterback that night was Luke Fales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Connor Nolan is pitching for the Cubs right now.
That is correct. Yeah. It's
Wow.
been a minute
There
since
we are,
Greenwood's
yeah.
lost down at Smith Robinson.
Yeah. I guess if you're trying to take down Greenwood, early in the year, it looks like to me, Brad, they have a lot of new parts on defense. Cash Archer has moved on, and there's a lot of new faces there. That doesn't mean that there's a talent drop off, but you just sometimes when you have a lot of change like that, it can take a while before everybody kind of gets on the same page. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, and I think if you're going to get them this year, that's the way you're going to have to probably outscore them. Kane Archer, he seems to be unstoppable in this level. I mean, when you've got a guy that comes back. Now, think about this, guys. A senior that threw for 57 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Not to say that it's heard of, but it's one of those things that you would almost expect. But for the fact that he was a junior last year doing this, that is scary for everybody, in my opinion, because I talked to Kane last year. He was our D3 Auto Sales MVP award winner. And one of the things that I could tell with that kid, he was very mature, and he was a kid that put in the work. So you're not going to fool him with a defense. So my question is, if you expect to beat Greenwood this year, can you outscore them?
Right.
He threw more touchdowns than incompletions.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, you can't do that on like freshmen on a varsity
on
game.
air.
Yeah, it's really, really hard to do.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, no doubt about it. And that's why I say, Greenwood's still got to be the favorite. Even if your defense is a little bit suspect, I mean, how are you going to be stopped on offense? And really the question will be, can somebody get pressure on you? And I think that Greenwood, obviously, everybody knows them for their defense or their offense, and their quarterbacks and skill players and all that. But you've got to have had an offensive line for years and years to be able to put the kind of numbers up that they have.
Yeah, absolutely. Brad Caldwell, Arkansas Sports Network. Our guest here talking some high school football on this Football Friday here on Ruskin and Zach, brought to you by Gasano's Pizza. So bouncing up to the 7 just for a second, just to kind of put a ribbon on it. In the Central, does it look like it's Conway and Bryant again for the league?
I think that you've got to, if you're putting money down, which I hope you're not on high school football, by the way.
Please don't do that, yes.
Right. I would say that those two are the ones that you've got to pick. And, I mean, that rivalry there has grown. Number one, it was a rivalry before Buck James went to Conway.
Right.
And now it's grown that much more. And so when we talk about Benton and Bryant, we also got to throw in Conway and Bryant being bookends to their seasons. That's a big deal there. Conway's got a chance this year, I think, but until you knock them off, I mean, I would say that they've got to be the favorite. That's Bryant.
All righty then. We've got about a minute left here. Give me some teams in the 5A real quick to keep an eye on, and then we'll get down to the lower classifications next segment.
Well, I think you got to start with Parkview. Who's going to knock them off? Bobby Bolding there. I mean, that guy is the genius behind it, I believe. I mean, I love Brad Bolding, but Bobby was the one that was winning state championships before Brad, and so I know Brad he's a great man. He's done a good job, so you got to start there. Robinson is another one that you need to watch out for.
All right, we'll continue this chat with Brad Caldwell from the Arkansas Bus. Continuing here on this Football Friday.
I could do this all day with
Gasano's Pizza.
Yeah, I could do this all day.
Well, especially now that we get to 4, 3, and 2, because there's just so many teams to discuss here. Brad Caldwell, Arkansas Sports Network, our guest. Your game tonight, Brad, Monticello hosting Fordyce. Is that right?
The Redbugs.
Yes, an old school rivalry there, and we're glad to be down in South Arkansas to be a part of that one. And of course, the two teams here are, I think, we got great expectations on the year this year. Some people are talking about Monticello being a threat to Warren this year, and I think you've got to start with Joseph Ackles, over 1,500 yards last year rushing. Kid as a sophomore, you get a chance to see him. He really does have a look as I would say, a borderline D1 type of prospect. And then you've got the Cadillac rolling on 22s for Fordyce, big Cadillac Ellison. I'm telling you, man, kid is huge. Last year, played quarterback at about 300 pounds. He was about 6'4", as a ninth grader, 6'4" and 300 pounds. And this year, slimmed up quite a bit. He went out with injury in the second round of the state tournament last year. And, they were actually able to knock off Boonville without him. They went to Bismarck and got hit pretty good in that game. But, Fordyce is one of those teams, obviously tradition-rich, number one. And they're always a team that you can figure on being at the top of their classification. And so they're our 3A number 2, and Monticello is our 4A number 7. So we're looking forward to that one.
Last week, Brad went 5 for 5 in identifying mascots.
Oh, yeah, this is your favorite
Murfreesboro.
Game.
Rattlers.
Right,
there you go.
6-0. All right.
Hey, I just saw this. We talked about Bauxite, or not Bauxite. Bryant and Benton have been kind of lopsided in that game. Fordyce and Monticello, the past 22, 11-11.
That's pretty good.
That's
pretty good.
It can't get much more even than that. So who are some other names? One of the great things about this chatting with you, Brad, is you get to hear about these players that are kind of off the radar that should maybe get some attention, maybe even at the Division I level. You mentioned a couple of players in your game. What are some other names that maybe are off the radar that people should be aware of if they want to go, see somebody play on a Friday night?
Well, Creed Vega of Dardanelle is a guy that comes to my mind. About 6'2", 220 pounds. Threw for 2,000 last year, rushed for over 1,000. Dardanelle got smacked last year by Elkins, 51-0 in game number 2. But by the end of the year, they played Arkadelphia off their feet and really almost won that ball game. And then you got to wonder, well, if Arkadelphia ended up winning the state championship, could Dardanelle march on? So they returned 91 of 99 touchdowns for last year, and they've got an opportunity here to be a very good football team. Again, Creed Vega is one of those guys. D. Buchanan of East Poinsett County is another kid. Him and Jacob Gaines are one of the best backfields in the state of Arkansas. EPC is our number 1 team in 2A this year, and you will not find a faster backfield in the state of Arkansas, regardless of class. You will not find more speed in the backfield than with those two, and if they get behind the defense, it's over.
You know what's so fun about the smaller classifications? A lot of kids, as Derek and you guys were talking about, they're box office. They're must-see, and they don't get the attention that maybe some of the larger classifications get. But it's so much fun to find that kid that you fall in love with, you go to see every week, and he does. I love Cadillac, rolling on 22s. I'm going to steal that from you if you don't mind. If I've got a kid number 22 that I like, I'm going to say he's rolling on 22s. But that's what makes this sport great. Now, I have to ask you, as we always do, about this point in every segment. Batesville's at Searcy. Searcy going to be down a couple starters. This is the Zach Clark portion of this. He always tells me to poo-poo the Searcy Lions. They're going 0-10 according to him.
Well, he's got that much loopholes in him, I guess. I think, Searcy, man, and I know Zach's your boy, so I'm going to speak for myself, not for you, because I know Zach is your guy. But, Zach has done a really good job down there at Searcy and really getting them going in the right direction. And, I think that Searcy, they're in a good spot. I'll say that. They're in a good spot to this week against Batesville. I feel good about where they're at. And you know what? I'll tell you one thing that I am going to do now, because I know I've got to be prepared for the Lions. So
yeah, you got to know that Searcy schedule.
I have a rundown. Yeah, in fact, I may even call Zach up and just say, hey, tell me a little bit about you. So anyway, we're going to get a hold of them and find out a little bit about Searcy, but I feel good about them against Batesville this week, and Coach Clark doing a great job down there at Searcy.
How much do you put into these benefit games? I mean, we had a guy on yesterday, Derek from Crane GMC, big Fayetteville guy. Is there a lot to just glorified practices?
Well, I think you look at it in two ways. Number one, how can you look at the final score and say, well, this team beat this team when by the half number two, you basically got your 2s and 3s in. Now, with that said, look at the first half. How did they go? But then at the same time, this is quote-unquote game number one when you're talking about your benefit games. If you're not better by the end of the season than you are right now, then there's something wrong. There's something up. So what I would say is you can't take a ton from it, but it's something to look at. We mentioned this last week that Boonville went to Dardanelle and won that game, which Boonville is a 3A team, Dardanelle's a 4A team, and Dardanelle's at the top of most everybody's polls. So, what do you take from that? I don't know what you take from that, but I can say this. By the time you get to the end of the season, you should be a different team than you are at the first of the season anyway.
It seems to me, and what I've observed, if you have more points, you want to count it as important, and if you don't have more points, then you just want to move along and just say, well, we learned a lot from the from the experience. And we got stuff to work on.
Yes.
That's what it seems like to me. Brad Caldwell, Arkansas Sports Network here. Let's go to 3A. What are you looking for out of the 3A this year?
Well, in the 3A, we talked about Fordyce already. Fordyce is a team that we've got at the top. A few of our guys feel like that they are the best team in 4A, but or 3A, I apologize. Salem is the team right now that is at the top of everybody's list. They returned right around 20 starters from a state championship team last year. Salem lost their head coach. Josh Watson went to Ozark, but Billy Weber steps in there, and he is a Missouri Hall of Famer already. So when you talk about head coaching experience, they bring a guy in that's got head coach experience. So what are they going to miss a beat? Not a lot. The question that I got about Salem, they got very hot in the state tournament last year, state playoffs, and what happens to that heat? Do they continue that? Last year they put a thumping on Rivercrest last year. I mean, in the quarterfinals, beat them 50-18,
Ooh.
And we knew at that point Salem had arrived. So those two teams are at the top of the list. I mean, you can go down the list. Boonville, I think they've got a really great senior class this year. I mean, we did a game there 2 years ago, and they were touting the sophomore class. They've got 18 seniors this year. I think that they're really good. I think another interesting team that is playing tonight at Mansfield is Bismarck. Bismarck lost their quarterback, Ben Keithley, but they've got his brother, Cademan Keithley, who I promise you in straight line speed is about as fast as anybody in the state of Arkansas. Last year, they played Prescott for a conference championship, and they were without Ben Keithley, and a kid named Preston Hughes stepped in, normally a D-back, played quarterback for him, and was able to beat the mighty Hurley Wolves in that conference championship game. So I don't know that they miss they miss a beat. I say that it's going to be very interesting. That's a great ball game, a great matchup there in Mansfield tonight.
Love it.
All right, you can find Brad, the Arkansas Sports Network. Find him on Facebook tonight. Got that Monticello game and a different game every week. Thank you, Brad. We enjoy the time.
All right, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Brad Caldwell, Arkansas Sports Network. Football Friday brought to you by Gasano's Pizza, Ruskin and Zach.
hello again, sports fans, and welcome to the Arkansas Sports Network's Game of the Week. Tonight's broadcast is being brought to you by D3 Auto Sales, by Arkansas Tech University, by Tyson Foods, by Premier Facilities Group, and by Metcalf Trucking Company. Here we go, Arkansas. Are you ready? Tonight, it's the Redbugs of Fordyce, ranked number 2 in 3A, and the Monticello Billies come in ranked number 7 in 4A. It's going to be a ranked showdown, folks. Fordyce, Monticello, and it starts right now. Buckle that chin strap, folks. It's time for kickoff.
They got the 36-16 win, but Monticello got a lot better throughout the year. And both of these teams, I believe, as we went through our preview rankings earlier this year, our preview shows for classifications, I believe both these teams are going to be better than they were last year, and that's saying something because these were both really good programs.
Yeah, these two teams bring a couple. Well, they bring several electric players onto the field, but we're really looking at tonight two players that really to watch with Andrell Cadillac Ellison, who was our newcomer of the year last year, and we've got Joseph Aculis, who is just an unbelievable electric running back here for the Billies, and we know they've got all kinds of athletes on the field tonight.
Yes, sir. Both of those are big timers, and that's just two. I mean, there's several on these teams that we can talk about. Micah Gamble, the running back for Fordyce, another one that's going to go back and forth with Aculus, and it's going to be fun to see Monticello breaking in a new quarterback this year and how that's going to work out. We're hearing Jackson Hines, and might have won out over Hudson Harvey in the off season. Going to find out how that looks tonight as they get on offense here shortly, whenever they get it. But yeah, I mean, just really playmakers everywhere. Both these teams are loaded at receiver as well. Both of them go deep at running back. Jaden Rhodes, Joseph Rojas, Jackson Rawls, the tight end. Those were receivers I was naming before that for Monticello. They're all dynamic. Jackson Rawls, just a junior, 6'7", 225. And then over for Fordyce, of course, you've got Jermaine Turner at running back as well. Caden Quimby, Jamarcus Stroud, Jamartez Stroud, Jamarcus Cranford. Big time playmakers coming back for that team. You see Monticello just ran out of the helmet. We're about to get ready for football. So the red plate is something that we're doing new this year. And Brad?
Yes, sir.
You want to go ahead and I know you had someone talking to you there for a second.
Well, we've got a new sponsor.
Oh, nice.
Chris Lloyd of Farm Bureau here in Monticello, jumping in on our sponsorship team. It's this helps keep us going here, guys. Local sponsors that we'll recognize throughout the game here, and so we do appreciate those that jump in on us. Again, we want to make sure that you are liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Join in on the conversation here as we're getting ready for kickoff, and we're ready here at ASN for the 2025 football season that most likely for us will end at sometime in December. We're excited to bring you the kickoff. And kicking off for Fordyce right now is number 64, Daniel Warner. And here's the kick. Fielded by Hines, the quarterback, and he's going to be brought down about the 23-yard line, and that's where the Billies will start the offense.
So really good job from Fordyce. They kind of skied that kick. It hung in the air for a while and able to get him down. It was a very short return. So Monticello's looking at about 67 yards or 77 yards, I should say.
You know, one thing that I wasn't hearing everything that you were saying as you were kind of keeping the conversation going. One thing that's going to be interesting to see is the number of players and the depth that Monticello has. 70 kids is what we talked about before the game, about 70-ish. They've got many, many more than Fordyce has. We'll see if that makes a difference as the game goes by. And Hines bringing a man in motion. First carry goes to Aculus, and he breaks it. He's across the 35, cuts back, and he's going to be tackled. Looks like about the 38-yard line is where they're going to spot that 15-yard gain for Aculus right off the bat.
Yeah,
and Duran, we were talking about him before the game.
And one of the guys I was talking about as well was Jamarcus Cranford, and he saved a touchdown right there.
Yes, he did.
Doing a great job taking an angle and getting him down, making him cut back.
Against most teams, that would have been a touchdown. Good job up front there by the Monticello offensive line. First down and 10. Again, Aculus, He breaks out, and he's trying to get around the tackler across the 50. Runs over him, man. Gets down to the 45-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 17. First two carries for Aculus. 32 yards on the night so far.
And I'm going to tell you right now, they've come out ready to run the football, and I love what I just saw. The line looked great, but James Pierce Breedlove over at the right tackle spot, a senior, number 53. He pulls and he cleans up his man and really broke it free for
Right now.
Aculus.
Right now, nothing tricky with what Monticello's trying to do here. And they've got a penalty flag. It's going to be a hold, so it's going to bring that run back. Let's see where they end up marking this football. But what a run by Aculus. We've talked about him.
Aaron, did you get a replay on that? Okay.
We talk about him pre-game here. He's going to be one of the better backs in the state of Arkansas and just a junior. They're walking this one back. It's going to be a spot foul, so it's going to bring up first down and about 11 here now for the Billies.
The thing I like about Aculus, he's just a junior. He's built low to the ground. He's 5'9", about 185, has good speed, coming back from a 1,400-yard season last year. 11 touchdowns, and I mean, he just really runs with leverage, and so far he's showing some good vision, bouncing it outside when he needs to.
Play action pass, Hines looking deep. He don't have anything, but look, the big tight end there.
Rawls, 6'7".
And that's a nice one to have right there. Looks like they're going to move the chains on that one, about a 13-yard gain, and you got to think that for the Monticello Billies, that's got to make life pretty easy for you when you got the 6'7" tight end crossing the field.
Yep, Jackson Rawls, 6'7", 225 last year as a sophomore, 29 catches, 369 yards, and 6 touchdowns. He's already got one for about 13 already this year.
Cordham says Cadillac on 22s. We'll be talking about him tonight.
David Banner in the house.
Aculus trying to get outside. Nice job there by
they wanted a horse collar. Yep. They're going to get it.
They are going to get it. So Aculus is going to pick up about a yard on the play, but it looks like a horse collar is going to be called. So that one's going to move the chains. We'll see what the call is, but that's what it looks like right now. Waiting on the referees here to make the call. Monticello really not making any bones about what they're doing right now.
Right. Well, last year they lost. Fordyce lost Cadillac Ellison in the playoffs against Jesseville, and a big win that night. And they went on and beat Boonville the next week. But we were able to broadcast the game against Bismarck, and it was a disaster that night for Fordyce. They'll tell you that. Anything that could go wrong went wrong. But if you go back and really diagram or break down that game, it was the line. The line of Bismarck really did a good job and won more times than they didn't, offensively and defensively. So I feel like Monticello has a very experienced offensive line. They returned 3 guys back. 2 or 3 of them are 3-year starters. And I feel like that's something that they're like, hey, let's see if we can go push these guys around a little bit early.
So here we go. We're getting the call from the referee. And it is a personnel horse collar. And then after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on that. So 2 penalties on the play, and it was after the play. So I think they're going to mark both of those off.
Separate penalties, so. Ball's going to go from the 49. We'll see where it ends up here.
We'll be bringing you scores from across the state of Arkansas tonight. Pottsville Apaches over the Heber Springs Panthers right now, 6-0. PAT pending.
30 yards.
That's a big play right there. Big 30-yard penalty there on the play, and a tough break there for Fordyce here early.
So we got 3 penalties so far, 1 on Monticello and 2 now on Fordyce.
Hey, we got 165 live devices on us right now. Make sure you're liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Hit that notification bell for all ASN content. You're not going to want to miss it this year. It's going to be a great year.
Yeah, Aaron was trying to. We had a little audio issue at the very start. We apologize. So we were going to talk about the red plate here once we get a chance. We'll do it after this play.
Yeah.
Unless the touchdown happens. We'll have more to talk about.
Ball on the 19-yard line here as Monticello lining up.
Got 2 wide. It's tight, but coming in motion.
And they're Little zone read play. Nice play there. Gets across the 15 down to about the 14.
Just trying to cause some misdirection back there, some confusion with that jet sweep timing that time. Everybody's keying in on Aculus, who's so good, and that time.
Yards on the play. Going to bring up 2nd down and 5 here. Monticello's offensive line, good size offensive line. They're having their way so far. Little outside zone. Aculus cuts back. He's going to get down to about the 10. We're going to mark it at the 11-yard line, so that should bring up about 3rd down and about 2 on the play.
Yeah, they actually, on the snap, on the cadence, they got Fordyce to jump a little bit, and they were trying to get right when they got back in their stance is when he snapped it. So really good job that time from the quarterback to get that to happen, but fortunately, they didn't get much more out of it than about 3 yards.
Big formation lined up. Hines following his lead block, and he is going to get down to about the 2. And that's going to bring up 1st down and goal. And I think that's about an 8-yard gain for Hines. And right now, Monticello being very methodical. Same play again, and he's going to get in for a touchdown. Oh, nope. They're going to mark that short.
Yep. 1 yard short.
It looked like from up here, it looked like a touchdown, but he's going to be right on the goal line, bringing up 2nd down and goal.
That is one thing about Hines. He's not a big guy. 5'7", 165 last I seen.
Oh, no. Wow.
Yeah.
Little wing T play.
Yep.
Joseph Aculus gets in from 1 yard out. First touchdown of the year for the Billies.
Did you replay that one, Aaron, the touchdown? Well, it's too late if you haven't yet.
9 minutes and 2 seconds left here in the first quarter of play. It's 6-0. Monticello, PAT pending. Lining up to kick the extra point is Joseph Rojas, a senior. Here we go. Here's the snap. It's high. It's bobbled on the ground. Ball's going to be on the ground, and that's going to be a no good on the PAT.
See if they come back to hurt them. Comes back to hurt them later. Sometimes it will in a game early on.
In the first quarter of action, and here we go. There's 8 plays, 77 yards there on that drive for the Monticello Billies. Rojas set to kick. Beautiful night for football here. Perfect weather. Kick is angled. It's going to get to the end zone, and Fordyce will pick up on the 20-yard line. And we get a chance to see the ASN Newcomer of the Year from 2024, Andrew Cadillac Ellison.
And it's the first time we're going to see him since he had that broken bone in his leg at Jessieville in the playoffs. So it's going to be fun to see. You know, it's always a tough transition when you come back, you know, when you get 100% trust in it. From everything we've seen, we interviewed them this year in our Hometown Sports Volume 2 edition, and he looked like $1 million. He'd trimmed up through that recovery process, and they're excited. So,
well, I can tell you,
hopefully
just
that won't be any issues.
Just from this side, you know, we did the McGee game last year. just from this side, he does definitely look more like a quarterback. I felt like last year he looked like an offensive lineman lining up at quarterback. Looks a little more like it.
Yeah.
Got a lot of zip on that ball when he throws it.
Yeah,
First
we watched
play.
some warm-ups, and it was just like that.
First play goes out to number 8, and that is Xavier Jones. Oh,
Yeah, it
Jamarcus
was 6.
Cranford.
It's hard to see 6 and 8 with these old eyes from way
That's
up here.
right. That's right. 4 yards on the play there. So Cranford going to get 4 yards. First gain for the Fordyce Redbugs here. And Fordyce lined up in the spread again. That was something that we wondered about, Jerram. Would they line up in the spread? Would they line up?
Right. When I interviewed them this year, the players were like, we want to spread it out. Everyone I asked, Coach Rogers, he's run that wing T top offense for years. That was trouble with the snap, but a great job by Ellison to get the ball back and still get something positive out of it.
Yeah, that was almost a disaster here. Right now, Fordyce a little bit discombobulated here. It's a 3rd down and 4. And they really need to do something good here because I don't think you want to give Monticello the ball back with as easily as they move the football early in this one.
You need something to happen here on the road, kind of get the crowd out of it a little bit. Right now, the crowd's got no reason but to be excited.
Ellison calls for the snap. He's going to get off the side there, and then it's going to get right down to
where
the
spot
marker.
is.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to mark it right on the 30, so it's probably going to be enough for a first down, and that's going to move the chains. They're already changing the clock here. So first down and 10 for the Redbugs.
Yeah, and he kind of laid down into it, trying to get extra there, and all depended on the spot, and worked out for Fordyce.
A little bit of a quarterback power there. Of course, you got a lot of power to run with that quarterback.
Our own Aaron Wojowski, or what? I can't say that's what we call him, the Woj or the Waj. We call him the Woj, but it's really pronounced Waj.
Little screen pass going to the outside, and that's going to be number 2, Jamartez Stroud.
Stroud's another big-time athlete for Fordyce, so they're going to use early and often. But he was talking about it in pregame about how Ellison looks a lot like, kind of reminiscent of KJ Jefferson a little bit, the way he looks in that uniform.
Well, he
strong back.
Looks good out there. When he's coming downhill, he's going to be tough to stop.
Second, about 4 here.
All right, Ellison bringing a man in motion.
It's Cranford.
And Ellison going to take off on the outside, turns up the field, gets across the 40. Looks like he's going to get to about the 43. It's going to be enough to move the chains. That's another first down for the Redbugs. Fordyce getting a little bit of offensive rhythm now as they get going here. 6:52 left here in the first quarter of action.
Haven't seen anything deep yet. Haven't seen any deep patterns. It's been all kind of screens and quarterback goes, little run, left side over to right side.
Ball comes back to the outside. That's Gamble. He's got a blocker in front of him. Cuts back. We're going to get a flag, probably a hold.
I think
there.
A hold on a receiver.
Yep, and he's going to get all the way down to the 43-yard line. That's going to be a spot foul. So let's see what they do with this.
I think they're going to get Xavier Jones at the 43-yard line. Be 10 yards from there if that's the call. Actually, the flag's on the 41. So,
yeah, they're going to take the penalty. See how far how they move this back. But it is a hold. So that's going to bring it back.
She put them about the 47.
47-yard line there. So now first down and looks like about 6 to go after the run. And that was by Gamble. Gamble's first carry of the ball game.
Yeah, he's one I think they're going to get the ball to a lot more often as this game keeps going.
Motion man coming from the left-hand side. Ellison looking deep.
He's
got a man behind the defense, but he floats it up there. Good effort there, but boy, if he had thrown that out earlier, had the man.
Timing just seemed to be off just a hair. And
Yeah.
get that ball out a half second sooner, and he probably runs under it.
And looks like we got an injured player there, and that's Cranford on the play. DeMarcus Cranford is injured on the sideline. They're going to tend to him over there, and it looks like they're going to keep playing since he's on the sideline.
Reaching at his left knee, it looks like, or foot. Might have come down on it when he landed and turned that ankle. We'll see.
Looks like
scores around the state. Pottsville's on top, 14-0 early in the game.
Wow.
Who they got tonight? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Heber Springs.
Oh yeah, that's big. Heber's an improved team. And Pottsville's got a big time senior class last year gone, so they're rebuilding a little bit. Great start for them.
Coach Carmichael over there at Heber Springs, he does a good job. They're a solid team. We got a timeout, looks like. What are we doing here? I guess we're going to stay here. 5:59 to go. And whistle it back into play here. They got him back up over there, Cranford. They got him up, and I guess they're walking him back to the bench. Walked on his own. Good news there. All right. Ellison calls Stroud in motion. Throwing it out to Gamble. Gamble on the screen pass. Gets across the 50, dances across. He's going to get real close to first down yardage there, but I think he's going to be just shy. And they're going to get down to about the 48-yard line, I believe. Maybe about the 48 is where they're going to spot that. Bring a 3rd down and 1. I think that was technically a run play because he threw it behind him.
Yeah, definitely look backwards a little bit. So put that on the run column. And Gamble did a good job. He ran into his own man and had to spin off of him, and then kind of got in another way of a red bug there for a moment. Getting what he can. It was kind of crowded in there.
We're running the little quarterback sneak when you got the 255-pounder and they got a false start.
Yeah, right tackle move. Right tackle or the right end, if it was a tight end in there, definitely jumped.
That's tough.
I seen it, but I didn't see the flag I was looking for. I didn't see it at first.
That is tough right there. Penalties really hurting Monticello right now. It's so far 45 yards here in the first quarter of action on penalties alone on this drive. Actually, not on this drive. They got them 30 on the defensive side of the ball, but still 45 total yards and penalties. 4 penalties for 45 yards here for the Redbugs.
So 3rd and 1 goes into 3rd and 5, 6.
6, yeah, 3rd and 6 now. Ball back to the 47. Eliminates all that gain that they just had. And clock is winding here in the first quarter. Ellison going into the huddle.
Play clock's down. They're going to have to call a timeout.
Fordyce going to take a timeout. We'll take one with them. 4 minutes and 43 seconds left here in the first quarter of action. Monticello leads 6-0. We'll be back in just a moment.
This group has completed some of the most challenging and rewarding construction projects across Arkansas. Today, our work extends across 4 core markets: commercial and residential building, industrial, and utility. That allows our company to construct projects that help shape and improve the landscape of the River Valley and beyond. A strong local presence and a vast network of resources allows us to provide best-in-class solutions for all of our clients. From small jobs to multi-million-dollar capital projects, PFG's employees and resources are dedicated to serving our clients and delivering strong results.
Hello, we're back here at the home of the Billies as we've got a big 3rd down play going on right now. Looking for this play, 3rd and 6. Ball on the 47-yard line as Fordyce lining up in the shotgun. You know, we thought they might line up in the wing tee a little bit. They haven't done it so far. It's been all shotgun. Ellison looking to the right-hand side. He's got a man. Easy pitch and catch right there. Across the 40 down to the 35-yard line. 18-yard gain on the play, and that's going to be enough for a 1st down.
Yep. Broke 3 tackles or weaved through 3 men. A couple of them made contact at the 39 and got all the way up to the 36-yard line.
I believe that's Jones, is it not? Xavier Jones?
It was number 8, was it not?
I believe so.
Yes. Xavier Jones, yes, sir. Senior for the squad.
First down and 10, ball on the 36-yard line. And Gamble going to the outside, trying to beat the Billy defense, and he does. Gets across the 30, or right at the 30 now. And he's going to get marked out right on the 30-yard line. It's going to be a 6-yard gain for Gamble.
Yeah, and Tyron Harris, number 10, had a beat on him. I thought he was going to get him, but good little shimmy move there by Gamble to get around him and get big-time yardage after that.
One of the things that I'm thinking about right now, if I'm watching this game, you've got a 3A team out here, and I can't tell the difference between the 3A team and the 4A team just looking at the size alone.
Right, when it comes to size per player, for
Yeah.
sure. Monticello has quite a few more on the sideline, but that'd be the only difference.
Ellison, little quarterback draw action. It's going to get down to about the 28-yard line now. Pickup of 2 on the play. They're going to mark that on the 29 now.
But I was fixing to talk to you about Fordyce's offensive line. They're breaking in a lot of new faces this year. Really only got one starter that started consistently, and that's Bryant Robinson, a junior guard. So it's been interesting to see.
Ellison looking out to the right-hand side. First incompleted pass of the night. Go ahead and give some thoughts there, Duran.
Well, Bryant Robinson's coming back. Teshume Ledbetter is a very talented kid. You're going to see him on defense. He's already been out there some. He's a new starter. Daniel Warner, another guy that's getting to play a lot. Kyle Randall is another guy, and Julian Sanchez, all trying to shape up this line. So, I mean, they definitely replacing a lot of guys. So I haven't seen just a giant push just yet. We've seen some guys make some good plays, but not really seen just a great push.
Fourth down pass. He's
Wide
going
open.
to the end zone, and it's dropped. Oh, my goodness. Bobby Petrino-like right there going to the end zone on 4th down and 3. And the ball is dropped by Stroud in the end zone. And that's going to be a turnover on downs right there.
Have a chance to go down the field, their second offensive possession. Go down the field and see if they can add to it. And boy, didn't Aculis look good on the first drive.
And he gets
Here
it
goes.
right here, goes up.
Oh, buddy.
And he is behind the defense. The 30, the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown, 71 yards for Joseph Aculis. And my goodness, Duran, I told you coming into this one, saw him last year against Hamburg. He was unbelievable.
Yep, definitely one of the top players in. Go for 2 here. We'll see. And he makes one cut. I like the way he runs. He's not a dancer. He's a one cut, get north and south kind of guy. And he really looked awesome on that run.
He's got right at 100 yards on 6 carries and 2 touchdowns here in the first quarter. Monticello leads 12-0. Little zone read action. Is Hines going to be able to get in? No, he's not. And we'll see how that works out. Fordyce moved the ball down the field, so we'll see what happens.
One thing I wanted to talk about, I was going to talk about it right after that run. I didn't know he was going to break it for the house, though. But, the offensive line, it's the opposite of Fordyce. They return almost everybody on the Monticello side. Fordyce is rebuilding their line. Got some good ones. Gunnar Hale, 5'10", 265-pounder, third year to start. He's a senior, 425-pound squat. James Breedlove, another big timer, 6 foot 260 at right guard. He's also a big squat guy. I think he's around 425 as well. Rylan McDougal, a senior at center. Max Eford, another 3-year starter at senior left tackle. So they definitely have that line and that experience to open those holes up. And when you got a guy like Aculus doing that, if you can open the holes and you get him any free space, it's trouble.
12-0 as Monticello kicks it off. And trying to find a hole there is Stroud. Stroud gets out to, looks like it close to the 35. Let's see where they mark it. Looks like that's where it's going to be marked, right at the 35-yard line. So this will be the second possession here for the Fordyce Redbugs, and they get a chance to get the ball back.
I feel like Fordyce needs to hit a couple plays here, get Ellison in a groove, get something, some of those short passes. We've seen a few of them early on, maybe some bubble screens, get it out to the running back, and they also need to run the ball a little bit more. I'd like to see them run between the tackles a little bit. We ain't seen much of that yet, other than from Cadillac.
Right. They and looking at their backs, I think you kind of understand why they're a little bit diminutive. But then you've got the quarterback that's 255, so he's kind of your between the tackles back. Ellison drops the ball and he's going to go down for a loss there, and they're going to mark that all the way back to the 28-yard line, 7 yards lost on the play.
Yeah, he took a knee or kind of just gave himself up there and still took a hit at the end there. I know Fordyce fans don't like that, but guy's momentum was carrying him into it. And just a tough play. Backs him way off schedule right after giving up a big, long touchdown. Tough situation right now for Fordyce. They need something positive to happen quickly here. You ain't got to get it all back on this play.
That's
Go
right.
get you 5 to 10 yards right here.
Here we go. 2nd down and 18 now for the Redbugs. Ball on their own 27-yard line. Well, bad snap again. They're fighting over the football, and Ellison going to get across the 25 down to about the 27-yard line. Really nothing there.
Yeah.
So no gain on the play, and right now, wow, Fordyce just things not going well right now.
They got to get a better push in the middle and give credit to the D-line of Fordyce. I'm sorry, of Monticello.
Right. Good size in there.
Trying to see the nose guard there, what number he is. They're in a 3-4 right now. They've been playing 4 guys a lot of these downs, but when it's 3rd and Camden Fairview, you might as well.
Nice step up in the pocket.
Yeah.
Good job there by Ellison. Not going to be enough for the first down, though. He gets all the way out to the 43-yard line, 16-yard gain on the play, but that's going to bring up 4th down, and that now
2.
Decision time.
Yeah. And looks like Cadillac's coming out, so it looks like they are going to punt it. Always a fake possible here, but I think Coach Rogers is, looking at it. We're down right now, 12-0, and you definitely don't want to not get it here and set up Monticello with less than 45 yards to go.
Well, they're lining up in it right now, lining up in the I formation. Yeah. They handed
Ellison
off
came
going
back
up
in.
the I formation. They didn't get it. They didn't
41
get it.
with a big-time tackle for the Billies. That is Eduardo Ramos making a big-time play, the junior for the Billies.
Try to get Gamble off tackle there, and just not enough push by the offensive line. Monticello stops them, and right now Fordyce is in trouble. Still a lot of game to be played here, but the rhythm of the game right now is, and all of the momentum belong to the Monticello Billies. And right now, Fordyce got to find a way to keep Joseph Aculus in check.
Yeah, Ellison went off to the sideline. I thought he was going out, but he was just going over to get the play call. Came back in, and they ran that play quick. Got up to the huddle quick, out of the huddle quick, up to the line quick. And great job from Monticello.
So lining up. Tight formation. You got 3 wide receivers. Oh, you got a tight end flexed out there. H-back for the Monticello Billies. 19 seconds to go. Hines calling a man in motion. They're faking. They've got
quarterback, but he can't get there in time.
They look
like tight end was wide open. That's what I was trying to say.
Right. Rawls was there. He gets hit pretty hard there. Does Hines, and that's going to be a big loss.
Yeah, Rawls had a step on his man, and he's 6'7", 225.
Right.
So he can box him out even if he was closer, but he had a step on him on top of it. Just didn't have time to set his feet and get it out to him that time.
That's going to be the end of the first quarter, and Monticello leads 12-0. We'll be back with more Game of the Week action right here on the Arkansas Sports Network.
When it comes to supporting the Fordyce Redbugs, no one does it like Chase McCollum of Shelter Insurance. A former educator in the Fordyce School District, Chase has always believed in investing in our kids on and off the field. Whether it's cheering under the Friday night lights or helping you find the right coverage, Chase is proud to stand with the Redbugs every step of the way. Chase McCollum, Shelter Insurance, proud longtime supporter of the Fordyce Redbugs.
We'd like to thank Ray's Diner and Chase McCollum of Fordyce, and then also Chris Lloyd of Farm Bureau here in Monticello for making this game possible. We want you to stay tuned at halftime. We've got a Red Plate Award that we're going to be giving out to the best food that we eat on the road here at the Arkansas Sports Network. Today we visited Ray's, and what great food we had there, and we're going to bring you our experience at Ray's here at halftime.
Yes, don't want to miss that. So right now, let's look at this line. 2 guys pulling. Uh-oh, got to fight a little bit down here after the play.
Just going to be a gain of 1 here, and I'll tell you right now.
I think he might have should have gave it to the running back.
I was about to say, 2
I don't know
straight
if it was
carries.
a true read, but
2 straight carries there that they didn't give him the football, and they went backwards. And so here we are, 3rd down and 17 now. What are they going to do here, Duran?
Well, it looked like the left tackle and left guard both pulled that time, and I think he would have had a lot of room. And, Keyless is going to make a guy miss here and there. But, yeah, right here, 3rd and very far. We're going to see a true drop back pass type situation here, more than likely.
Kareem Alexander says, let's go, Zoe, and we're going to throw it out to the wing here.
A little tunnel screen.